Hi Hayden, this is Miss Jones. I just saw on Google Classroom where you were having questions with two-step equations. More specifically, you had questions with number 5 on the two-step equations with rationals worksheet. So I thought that I would just submit this video for you to be able to see how to work that problem out. Once again, I know you said you couldn't remember how to do two-step equations, so just as a quick reminder on this is a little bit more advanced because we have to write. We did that in class where we had to write our two-step equations given the information. Well, I'm going to read the problem. It said Teresa needs to save $25.50 to go to the movies this weekend. So that's how much money she needs in all to go to the movies. She currently has $3. If Teresa makes $7.50 an hour babysitting, how many hours does she need to babysit this week? We're trying to find in this problem how many hours. That's our variable. That's what our missing piece of information is, how many hours she needs to work at $7.50 an hour to get enough money to be able to go to the movies. So this is our variable. So if we took how much she made per hour, which is $7.50, and we multiplied it by the hours worked, we would get her income. We would get how much money she's making. So for instance, if she worked 1 hour, I could put a 1 here and say $7.50 times 1, or $7.50 times 1 would equal $7.50. So if she worked 1 hour, she would make $7.50. If she worked 2 hours, I could put a 2 in here in place of the x, and I could say $7.50 times 2, and that would give me 15. So that would let me know that if she worked 2 hours, she would make $15. Right? So that is why that x works right here. We can put that variable behind how much money she's making per hour, and we can figure out how much money she is making. Well, that's how much money she can make, but she already had $3. Okay, so that's on top of how much she's going to be making an hour. So that's in addition to what she will be earning. So $7.50 x plus 3. And she wants that to total the $25.50. She wants to be able to save that much money. That's the total she's looking to get. So she wants to know how many hours does she have to work to come up to this amount of money. Okay. Well, once we have it written out like this is a two-step equation. This is what we were practicing so much in class. Our first step that we were doing is we would separate, remember? We separated, that way we can see one side of the equation. There's two sides of the equation here. Our first step is we want to move this 3 over to the other side, right? So if we have a positive 3 or a plus 3, what is the opposite of that? We have to do the opposite to move it. So what is the opposite of that? It would be to subtract 3, right? Well, what we do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other side of the equation. So we're going to do it to that side as well. So if we had a plus 3 minus 3, that would be a 0. That would go away, right? Those would cross each other out. So that would leave us still with a $7.50 x, is now equal to 25.5 minus 3 is 22.5. Okay, so now we're not done. We still have to get x by itself. We have to repeat, do the second step and repeat what we did up here, but this time we need to get rid of this $7.50 in front of our x. Well, right now it's saying $7.50 multiplied by x. Well, in order to get rid of that, we have to do the opposite. So that means to divide. We'll always do the opposite. So we have to divide by on both sides, because what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Okay, so that would cross out. $7.50 divided by $7.50 would be 1, so those would cross out. So now we're left with x. We finally got down to just our x is equal to, I just did this on my calculator real quick, and you can do the same just for the ease of it right now. So $22.50 divided by $7.50 is 3. 3 what? What were we looking for? We were looking for hours. So that's 3 hours, right? So according to our calculations on what we just did, we figured out that Teresa, well, her name was Teresa, Teresa would need to work 3 hours at $7.50 an hour. She'd have to work 3 hours to get that $25.50. And she'd also have to use her $3 that she already used to get her $25.50 to be able to go to the movies. Okay, so the answer to that would have been A. Just real quick on another example. So if we had on a two-step equation, and I'm just going to make this up on the top of my head, so I hope it works out nice and neat. If we had 2x plus 4 equals 16. Okay, here's another example of a two-step equation. Okay, first thing that we would do is we separate. We have to get rid of this 4. So it's adding 4, so we would need to subtract 4, right? So I would subtract 4 on both sides. That would get rid of my 4's over here, so I'd be left with my 2x. 2x is equal to 16 minus 4 is 12. So now I would need to divide to get rid of my 2, so that would cross out my 2's. So I would have x is equal to 6. Okay, if I tried that out, if I put my 6 in place here, I could say 2 times 6, well that's 12, plus 4 is equal to 16. Well, is that right? Does 16 equal 16? Yes, so that works out. Hope this helps. If not, then please just let me know. Send me an email or post it on Google Classroom. Hope you're taking care of yourself. See you soon. Bye.